Hey everybody, Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome and thanks for joining me today. What I was kind of playing on the way in, you might go, wow, that sort of sounds like Gimme Three Steps by Lynyrd Skynyrd. And it sort of was, but not quite. However, it makes a really good chord progression to show you something that I discovered actually from learning how to play that song. And this was sort of a nice way to coordinate or to tie together certain chord shapes and the major pentatonic or the major blues sound using good old box one, which for me was very good when I learned this because I wasn't very good at the major pentatonic sound, and box one was something that I was good with. And of course, this is a super popular sound in Southern rock and classic rock. I was a big Lynyrd Skynyrd, Molly Hatchet, Allman Brothers, all that kind of stuff growing up. So I heard this sound a lot, but it took me a long time to figure out where it came from. So I'm going to show you very quickly where it came from so you don't have to go digging for it. So let's go. So starting out, that song starts with a D chord. And the riff is like, I think. Okay, don't hold me to this. I'm going to try and sort of do this to the best of my memory, but it's been 30 years since I learned the song, and I have my way of playing it now, and it's probably different. But if you can imagine a D major chord, right? Just old school bar chord, D major. So my root's at the 5th fret of the 5th string. Okay, what you got to try to get used to doing is sort of flip-flopping this as soon as you get there. So as soon as I get here, I'm going to swap. I'm going to take my 3rd finger and put it where my 1st finger goes. So I'm going to get rid of the 5th string root. So what you need to be able to do is to see visually, on your fretboard, this D chord just from those 3 notes. So you have to sort of imagine that the root note is down there because you're not playing it anymore. And that seems to be the hardest leap for most students is to sort of make that jump and to be able to imagine that that's a D chord even though the root down here is not being played. All right, but here's what's cool. I can add this note here at the what would be the 9th fret of the 5th string, and it's the 3rd of the chord. If you're a caged person, you'll recognize this is starting to fill out a G-shaped chord. But if you're not a caged person, that's fine. I'm just trying to help for those that are. So, and when I learned this, I didn't know anything about caged. I'd never heard of it. So this is just one of those cool things that I discovered. So from here, I have that, right? Well, the blue note below, and from that, I have box one. So it turns out that if from here, right, my 1st finger's at the 7th fret, my pinky on the 2nd string, 10th fret, and my 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. If I bend up just the 3rd string, that actually bends it into those 2 notes out of a D chord. So there's all kinds of good chord stuff. If you can lean your pinky back, you can actually get the upper root on the 10th fret of the 1st string. And doing that is what gives you that kind of cool Lynyrd Skynyrd type of sound. It also gives you that main riff. There's the blue note in box one. And in A, right, we always play A this way, but we have the open A string, so we're used to it. So again, there is the A, so there's box one, and there's that cool bend. Now, it's obviously tricky to get your pinky to hang out there. Notice I've got a couple of fingers bending that 3rd string, because I have to bend it confidently up to pitch while holding that pinky steady. That's a tall order down here, right? If you feel better about it, You could refinger it to have your third finger and middle and first do the push. It's easier up here. And I'm kind of plucking it, but you could pick it. Again, I don't know the original recording anymore well enough to tell you which way is right. But then there's and then it goes back to D. And then it does this. Okay, well, if you've ever seen, I have a lesson on the, I call it the 3+2 pattern, right? And this is exactly the 3+2 pattern. It's a major pentatonic pattern. So the open second and fourth fret, there's the 3 notes, then second and fourth on the next string. That makes an E major pentatonic scale. And then there's E again, it's right under, right there. And I could do that again. And this is a pattern that you can play all over the place. So again, it's just a great little major pentatonic. And that's pretty much it, D. And then it does a little G to walk down to E. And then back to the D. And then A. Something like that. A to that low G. F, E, D. Something like that. Again, don't hold me too much to, hey, that's not quite Gimme Three Steps. It's probably not, but it's really close. And the most important thing about it is I want you to see how those major chord shapes get turned into good old box 1, but now from the point of view of major. And remember that box 1, right? If my pinky's the root, it's major. If my first finger's the root, it's minor. Now it's minor, now it's major. It's all going to be dependent on where you start and where you stop and what you emphasize and what chords are going on behind you, okay? Admittedly, if you're playing over, D, A, and G, which is a 1-4-5 in the key of D major, you can think to yourself all day long that it's B minor. It's still going to sound like D major because the chords are going to always win. So keep that in mind as well. But really, that's all I got for you today. That's the lesson. I hope this gives you kind of a little, maybe different way of looking at your fretboard, okay? As always, if you want to check out the Blues Guitar Unleashed, which includes Classic Rock Guitar Unleashed, the All Access program, is there. As always, I have the free How to Jam guidebook. You can see that on your screen right now. I have a monitor up there, that's why I'm looking up. If you want to do the 4-note solo mini course, I have that for you. As well, if you are working on learning your blues scales better, I have a free, completely free, no sign up, no nothing blues scale tool that you can check out. That also does work for classic rock. The pentatonic scale and the blues scales, they are the bread and butter of both blues and classic rock. So, hope you dug the video. As always, if you're watching it on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're on the Facebooks, feel free to follow the Blues Guitar Unleashed page and share with a friend. If you got somebody learning to play guitar that you know and you think they would dig it, please pass it along and spread the word. Thanks so much and take care. I'll talk to you soon.